February 8th, 2024. Welcome to DYOR Live. Today in the house, DYOR Dex. No, I can't play the guitar. But it's a good intro. Oh, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of DYOR Live. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking here in the digital media world. Sometimes the intros go well, sometimes they don't. And I recorded that one the other day, and I didn't have the sound on it quite right. As we all know, I try to do things a little bit more complicated here, and it doesn't start right. But anyway, we've got it going here. We've got the guys from DYOR Dex, I'm going to say it wrong a number of times, in the house, and we're going to have a good show for you today. But as usual, in the house, I've got my co-host, Pedro Garcia. Pedro, what's happening?
What up, my peoples? How you guys doing? How is everybody going? Hope everything is going well in your neck of the woods, wherever you guys are at in this pleasant life that we are living. If you guys could do me a favor here real quick, please hit that like, subscribe button, and as always, please tell me where you're at or where you would like to be. As you all know, I am native to California. I would love to be in San Diego on a beach, drinking a Mai Tai, or just catching a wave. Or Santorini. Dude, why do I always call it Santeria?
Santeria? What are you, from East LA or something? Come on, man.
Orale, vato. Qué bueno.
Santorini in Greece. That's where you'd like to be.
Santorini. There we go. No, that's Italian, not Greece. Oh.
All right, everybody. Let's get the social media going. Let's get the likes going. Thanks everybody for showing up.
Yes.
First, before we get into the Bitcoin overview here, what does we got in the house here? We got Chuck Jansen here.
Using the whole fist, Doc?
Yeah, he's the doctor using the whole fist. Kaching, good morning, Kaching. How are you doing? Pit Monk, welcome Pit. Oops, I didn't have the comments on the screen. Welcome Pit Monk. How's everyone doing today? Thanks for coming in all the way from the UK, Mr. Pit Monk. Appreciate it very much. And your main NetZ community, which has been coming out and watching the show a lot. Pit Monk says, still need to do hard disk. Get one of those 5 terabyte SSDs, but make sure you spend a little extra one that has the faster read-write thing. I got the slow one once, and it killed me. Pit Monk says, I want to be on the beach in the summer. Well, you're from the UK. A beach is... you don't got much beach there. You got rocks. You got cliffs. And anyway, Michael Hendricks says, let's go, a DYOR and a DYOR Dex. We'll get to the DYOR Dex, guys, after Pedro gives us his update. What's going on, Pedro?
What is up, guys? How's everybody doing? So here we go. Let's go over Bitcoin here real quick. So we saw a little bit of a pump here with Bitcoin. And give me 1 second. I thought I had it up here. We have a little bit of a pump. We did come through our area here, but again, it doesn't leave a demand wake into Friday, and we're retesting our supply area here. So I do expect to see a sell-off here because we did not put any demand wick for today, and it's screaming for it to go down. Think about it like this. This is Thursday, this is Wednesday, this is Tuesday, this is Monday, this is Sunday. We went down Sunday first and went up, and now we're going to have a sell-off because people want to take profit over the weekend. Remember, we actually have real institutions that are now trading this, and they only work 5 days a week. So they only we should see a bit of a sell-off on Friday, and then they'll capture their profits for the week.
You know, that's a good point. I haven't been thinking of the institutional work week. You know, the institutional guys aren't used to crypto life of 24/7, checking your wallet at 2 a.m. type stuff. I haven't thought of that. I haven't thought of that much. And I know day traders, they have their own schedules. And for a long time they just followed the markets, but now that most other stuff is 24 hours. I hadn't considered that. I need to note that one down. Welcome, Mr. Lawton, coming in from Madrid, Spain. Thank you for joining us, Lawton.
Lawton. No, see, I still can't. Lawton.
Can't do it.
Nope.
He's an Irishman in Madrid, and we can't do either accent, so we don't.
Yeah, no, right. We'll say. Orale Latin. No, that don't work. Okay.
No, that's, you know what? The Mexican Spanish is not going to go over that well in Madrid, I bet.
Definitely not, bro. They would sit there and be like, the door's that way. It's called the sea. Just swimming. Start swimming. Anyways, so that's what I expect to see with our good old friend BTC, aka Mr. Beast, aka Mr. Beast, algorithm, Mr. Beast, BTC, Bitcoin.
Right. Before we go, Pedro, if that's all for Bitcoin right now, give us a quick look at Dimension. In that.
There we go. DYM. Yeah, so we had talked about this yesterday, about some of the areas that we want to be looking at, right? And so I'll go into the smaller time frame so we can see actually what happened. And you guys can go check the instant replay from yesterday. I talked about basically expected to come back down into this area between that 560 area to the 460 area. And I talked about even if we come back into this area, we want to take our first initial buy off of this area, right? Which would be about from out of the $1,000. I said, remember to put about $300 here and then $700 down in here. And so had a nice little profit. We came back down into the area of the 561 area to the 546 area. We saw a nice little pump here. So it's gone from there all the way up to $8 now to the peak. And right now we're just kind of consolidating just simply because it's been pumping all day. As in crypto, like institutions sit there and say, we would love it if we got 100% on a stock. Crypto guys are like, that's all we got was like barely
right.
1x, bro.
1x,
like,
man.
1x?
Crap coin. Scammers.
Right. So,
must be stealing the LP. That's why we only got 1x.
Gotta love crypto. Only in crypto life. So that's it in a nutshell that we were seeing right here. Only in crypto.
You know what I was doing a social media thing. What was the is that still the dimension chart up there? I got the stupid BTC thing running there. What day did they start going up? Kaching, and if Kaching, if you're listening, what caused them to all of a sudden go from nothing to boom?
Yeah, they literally went. They were at 20 cents, and then from 20 cents, and that's where I found them here on. Do you know else what they trade on by chance?
I don't have any idea, but I bet you one of our guests does.
Yeah, we'll have. Yeah, we'll talk about that later then with them, but we'll have fun there. Definitely have fun. Yeah. So it literally went from 20 cents. What is that? 20 cents, all the way up to what is this? $8. So that would be a 10x, 10, 20, 30, 40. So 40x. Not bad
at all. And
not bad at all.
So thankful for people warning me to say, "Hey Tom, you should get in this." And I was like, I'm kind of busy with other stuff. And I get a lot of people telling me you got to get in this and things like that. But it turns out Dimension's actually a real project. It's not a, I get plenty of people saying, "Oh, you really got to get in shit butt in you," and like, yeah, I'm good with that.
Smoking bulk in you.
All right.
Yeah.
Pedro, I dropped a note in the Operation Phoenix, our guests from yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, Operation Phoenix's room, that you would go just bring up their chart and look at it now. Give them a little reason to pop in for a second here. But more to the point, to showcase what you were talking about yesterday, what the chart was telling you it was going to do.
Absolutely. Here we go. So we had talked about it coming down into this support area here. We saw it kind of go sideways and then pop up. So we definitely saw it go from the point, or from the 5 cent mark all the way up to 5.6, 5.7 area, where we hit that 200 or that 20 period moving average and saw it come back down. So the next position, and this is the area that I personally really liked, the lower area here, as an in to get in on, is that 0.027 mark area. That's definitely a nice little area that I thought would definitely is a buy area, simply because you can see there was already a lot of buyers sitting here. So I like that 2.6 area down to potentially even the 1 cent and 2 area. This area right here, I think it's sexy, but more importantly, that's really where we see a lot of buyers kind of sitting at this level, and then we saw it explode. So we'll see what happens.
Go ahead and bring up like the 5-minute chart here. I want to show you something related to what you were talking about yesterday. Oh, you've got a different. Sometimes I can't make heads or tails of your charts, Pedro. I get so many.
Let me explode it here. Let me open it up here. Real quick.
Yeah, I was just talking about in the past 2 days or so.
All right, let me. Why is this not wanting to expand? Why is this hard? Why do you have to be difficult right now?
The DEX tools chart sometimes give you a little grief, and I think our guests later are going to talk about that. And
yes, they will, and it will be very happy, and I can't wait to start using their.
Well, anyway,
their
yesterday
stuff.
it wicked down into the 3s, and it's not showing on your chart for some reason.
Yep. Yeah, it was down in. It was about right here. So yeah. Or excuse me, right here. I apologize. It came down. This is where it came down.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah. Well, anyway, you called it yesterday. The chart gave you the info. It was talking to you, and it worked. And not to sit here and say, oh, you guys should listen to us for technical advice. But Pedro gives some good advice, so listen to us. And once again, of course, we're not telling you to buy anything. It's not financial advice. The thing is running on the bottom here. That's our get out of jail free clause. This is entertainment purposes, and a lot of times it's only entertainment.
Got him. No.
Ahmed, thanks for joining in from the Operation Phoenix room. Thanks for your community coming on this show yesterday. But it is time to move on with the show and talk about a new good community coming up. Let me switch over here for a second and take just a second to do my thing with our sponsors. First, though, Kaching says, I'm working to get in touch with one of the Dimension devs, blah, 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 blah. That would be great. We'd love to have them on the show, that type of stuff. And Arga says, Boz, please, kick in. So that's pure shill right there, ladies and gentlemen. Love it, though. Love it, love it. Anyway, before we get to our friends, our new friends from DYOR Dex, I got to take a quick moment to shout out our sponsors and partners here. And below me in the bar here, you see the sign for Camuso CPA. If you're in the United States and you have a crypto accounting problem or have been avoiding it for 3 years or so because you're like, oh, I don't need to report, just remember the IRS is rolling up the blockchains and has hired a number of companies to link just about every DeFi wallet link every exchange wallet that they've subpoenaed, Binance, Kraken, and a couple others, to whatever DeFi wallets are out there. And they're going to put names to those, and you're going to get a letter from the IRS. And if you never checked that box, they ask you, do you own cryptocurrencies? It means you've been inaccurate, and you need to amend your return. Patrick Camuso can help you with that. He fixes not only your taxes and accounting with crypto, but also when other accountants do it that don't understand blockchain and how to read the blockchain, he goes, in many of his cases that he fixes for people are fixing other accountants' errors. Camuso CPA, look him up. There's a link in the bottom here, and tell him DYOR sent you. Also, I'd be remiss to mention here the guys at Audit Chain here. Audit Chain is just something. It's one of the first groups of say it so often I can't even talk about it anymore. They run a series of validator nodes on the Matic network, Polygon network, that runs some software in the background that goes and checks out traditional finance's filings at the Edgar database. And in essence, what's happening is a blockchain technology is now able to check up on traditional finance, and it does it in a manner since it's on the blockchain. It's when it records an error or a failure to disclose something, it's permanently on the blockchain for all to see. And so it's a way of when companies, and especially short sellers, read someone's prospectus and then they're following 10Ks and try to figure out the difference. They used to hire tons of financial analysts to do that. Now you can use Audit Chain to do that. They're launching here soon. auditchain.finance. Tell them DYOR sent you. Quickly, and then of course before we get to the next bit here, little social media going on. For those of you in the room, thanks everyone for joining us. I really appreciate coming in and watching your own community, and the new people that have come on to watch our guests of the day, and those from other days too. Thanks a lot. Drop a comment, drop a like. We like interaction, we like questions, or just general BS. As you know, sometimes I don't read the comments before I put them up, and I just put the general shill stuff up. But anyway, thanks a lot, everybody. But now more to the point, I'm going to bring on the guys from DY. See, it's just impossible for me to say it right.
They call it DYOR.
I can do it. You can do it. From DYOR Dex. And I came across them a couple of weeks ago. I had a group on with a similar name, but a different type of exchange, a social media type exchange coming on, and who I found on LinkedIn through a different way. And then when going to Telegram to type some things, I was like, hey, what's this DYOR Dex thing? Then I went and found Twitter Spaces that they were on. I was like, hey, these are serious guys. They've got a real product going on. Might as well get them on to talk about their product too. It's launching soon. And so I just bombed, I don't know, Meta Launcher Spaces and said, hey, why don't you come on my show? And as soon as 1 second after these guys agreed, Meta Launchers banned me. Anyway, I got the guys on the show, and so we're going to bring them up now. The gentleman, let me see if I can get this right, the 3 thing. Look at that on the first try. I got it right. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome, Ben and Hank from DYOR Dex. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Great to be here.
Do we got...
hey.
Oh, good. Mic's on, all that. Now, let's see if we can be a nice professional show here. And look at that. Did I get the names right?
Name. Yes, we did. No,
there you go. We got titles. That's cool.
Yeah. Head of Operations and Chief Technology Officer. And Anton is watching from a train in Germany. Thanks, Anton, for watching. Anton Golub, a great friend of the channels. Keep watching. Hope you can get us in those tunnels over there. But anyway, gentlemen, DYOR Media is happy to have DYOR. I'm trying to practice saying this, DYOR Dex on here for the sole purpose, really, of learning about something new, because you guys have realized that there is a lack of, as I'm going to paraphrase here, lack of features in some other products out there, and.
I apologize. I have to interrupt something real quick, and I know you're about to bring them on, but just because it's really important. And we always forget to do this before we start this. Hey, guys, if you could hit that like button, we'd appreciate it. That'd be really, really big important. That'd be helpful to us, especially everybody that's here. And let's go ahead and move right back on to what you guys were talking about. I apologize about it.
That's all right, Pedro. That's what you're here for. Keep me on the straight. Anyway, you guys have come about the concept that there's something missing in the market. And you guys said, we're going to come up with this new product. We'll come up with why you named it what you did later. But it's a new DEX that's going to come out with new information, and you want to fight the guys out there like Dex Tools and Dex Screener and stuff like that. But also, I've heard your argument that it's not just for the investor. You want to be able to provide a better platform for devs that want to launch a project too. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly it. The genesis of the idea was basically as traders and project owners and developers ourselves, we thought that, like, we've been in the space for a very long time, and what we've seen from the space is that while the space is growing all the time, and which is amazing and very exciting, the products and tools and services that support this space aren't innovating at all. And so we thought this was a perfect opportunity to create a platform that we would want to use. As traders, as project managers and developers, there's just not anything out there. So we said, we kind of looked at this and said we should build this ourselves, and that was how this whole thing came to be. And since then, it's really just grown in scale. There's been this really nice snowball effect as we've partnered up with bunch of different influencers in the space who are, part of our investor network. And it's really kind of just taken on a life of its own now. And we're excited to have it in everybody's hands because we're excited to use it ourselves.
Well, yeah, that would be, if you can say we made this awesome product, and by the way, I also made a ton of money using it. Then you got something there.
It's like if you guys remember Hair Club for Men, where they're just like, I'm not only the person, but I'm also fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Hair Club for Men of crypto, DYOR Dex.
By the way, I do have hair.
You've used it. You're also a customer.
And I'm also
Michael Hendricks comes in and says, can't wait for the DYOR Dex launch. So how far are you guys away from the launch? Estimated launches are always kind of kind of a moving goal.
So one of the cool things that we're doing, we're doing everything in sections, right? So the first thing that we're building out is actually a standalone version of the platform itself, so that we can give that to the influencers and different people that are in our network, that they can start getting the branding out there, they can start showing it off, giving us feedback and stuff like that. And that is almost ready. That'll be going out to our entire influencer network here in the next few days. We just actually this morning got an update. All of our charting data and information is all displaying correctly. We're able to, everything that you would see on DEX tools or in the segment before us, we're able to service that data now correctly. So that's super exciting, and we're really close to that. The rest of the platform, we are looking to release the beta in March, where the full platform release would then be in April. And we're definitely on track to do so.
Oh, that's good. That's good for, you said, the April launch. Hopefully it stays in April, and then everyone in the U.S. can take their tax return money and put it into crypto and use your platform. Now, one of the things that you've told me here is that you obviously want to capture the crowd using DEX tools or DEX Screener or one of the other ones. But tell us about how what features you're going to have to give the developers and people develop, like Pedro's a dev for a project, how to make their lives easier.
Yeah, so Pedro, you're going to love this. Basically, the biggest problem that we have as devs is that, and I'm actually looking at this problem as we speak on my desktop screen here, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have about 15 tabs open at any given time. From everything from CoinMarketCap to DEX tools to to my Telegram chat to this to that, whatever. And you're constantly it's just chaos and disorganization, and there's just not a really cohesive place where you can kind of get all of your things organized. And so I piecemeal together different applications all the time. What we really wanted to do is provide a way of saying, how come, if you're running a business outside of Web3, that you have all these amazing pieces of tools and software to run your business, to cohesively have a place where everything just naturally lives. And so that's what we set out to do. We're going to be creating the industry's first team dashboard. That dashboard is going to consist of everything you need to do with your project, everything from deploying the contract to launching on a DEX, to locking up the liquidity, to interacting with your socials, to being able to edit and manipulate the forward-facing side of our platform, which you cannot do on if you're using one of our competitors. You have to kind of email somebody and then back channel it through through the dark web, it seems like, and pay some random
I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy that's on CMC.
DEX tools, man.
Right. And you might get it.
Right. And you might get it, yeah. And you're spending $10,000 for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we wanted to just take the guesswork out of it. We're going to be doing things like, if you see this ticker on the top of DEX tools, I'm not sure if that's being displayed, but if you guys have ever remembered, or even just the ticker on the bottom of this screen, that is actually a paid service. That is not, there's not some magic metric to it. All of those token projects that you see down there, they are paying for the privilege of being on that ticker. And, we're just going to be honest about it. We're going to run ad sale auctions. And so you'll be able to have the opportunity, if you're a project owner, Pedro, to bid for a slot on that spot, and it's pure advertising, and we're not trying to not disclose that or make it strange or whatever. Where we're just being out there and frankly transparent, right? And the whole point of calling a platform DYOR is the idea that everybody should be well informed about the not just the projects they're interacting with, but the the products that they're interacting with as well.
Right.
And we're taking a blend of Web3 and Web2. All of our UX UI is going to feel like, when you're doing an auction, it's going to feel like you're on eBay. If you're interacting with buys and sells or charts, it's going to feel like Fidelity or Robinhood. It's going to have this sort of native internet feel to it, but with all of the amazing benefits that Web3 has to offer to all of us. And so it really, we say that this is the last tab that you're ever going to have to open on your browser, and we mean it.
You got me excited because my biggest issue as a trader within Web3 has been the fact that I don't have, and again, I don't know if this can be done or not. I'm just throwing this out there, kind of left field. But will I be able to,
anything can be done, by the way.
Okay, because listen, do not get me excited like that. Don't overpromise me something, man, and don't deliver it. You haven't even heard. I need your firstborn child. Sorry. All right, no.
That can also be done. No.
You're gonna have like a meme that says "when child."
I love that. No. The question was this: is just simply, I cannot, for the life of me, get a DEX or a trading platform to sit there and allow me to chart trade and simply move my stops instead of having to go through the whole entire rigmarole and get stopped out when I'm having a flash crash. I got to sit there, right, and get stopped out and then re-enter because it takes way too long to actually move a stop. And I would love if I wanted to trade some, I don't know, microcoin, right? Right now, right? I would love to be able to sit there and go, okay, well, let me go and enter here.
Just drag it on the chart. Is that what you're talking about, Pedro?
Yeah, and drag it on the chart. Simply just go through and be able to act. I mean, for example, boom, I'll use this. I mean, I have active charts, I trade here on the show. And I'll use this here. Like here.
Sorry, I don't have you up there. Oops, sorry. There we go.
It would be actually. Let me just jump in and just mess with.
We're looking at your Operation Phoenix chart. Okay, now you've got the dimension.
Yeah, so I would love to be able to sit there and go, okay, well, let me get in right here. Let me log in and just be able to sit there and say, okay, buy button, boom, or let's say buy here, right? So it goes in. Log in.
I might have the guy's pictures on top of where your cursor is here.
Give me 1 second. This thing. Let me log into the.
Anyway, while Pedro's doing that, Peter Berghoff says, what makes DYOR Dex different compared to Uniswap and CoinMarketCap? I think you mentioned the CoinMarketCap, but why don't you add in the part about what makes it different from Uniswap?
Yeah, so I can field the Uniswap really well. We could actually talk about this for hours because the Dex component for DYOR Dex is actually utilizing the sister project technology, something that my company has built over almost the last 2 years. It's called Diamond Swap, and it is the entirety of the infrastructure behind all of the trading that is facilitated on the platform. And we have built out the entirety of the DEX, the aggregation, as well as perpetuals servicing from scratch over the last 2 years. We're actually the only DEX utilizing EIP 2535, which is the Diamond standard. And that allows us to do upgrades in place. And always
no version 2s or 3s. You can just upgrade.
No version 3, 4,
no
5.
Crazy proxies or anything.
No user migrations. Nothing like that.
No knives.
Say that again.
No forks, no spoons, no knives.
Oh my goodness! No bridging, no oracles.
So we'll still utilize some aspects, such as like oracles, but we'll have our own data that we service. We will still aggregate other data services just to compare and get the most accurate. We will be able to, if we don't have the direct liquidity on our platform itself, we can still service every trade in the ecosystem because we're able to pull that from all of the different DEX services as well as perpetuals indexes. So we'll have deep liquidity in terms of being able to service the cheapest possible trade route from everything on the entirety of the blockchain, on every EVM compatible network. And even then, after our initial launch in 2024 and in 25, we're going to be taking it a step further where we're actually going to be cross-chain trading at like multi-route trades, where it will go from, you could go BNB on BSC over to ETH on ETH mainnet in one transaction. And that's just the start, right? We have a lot of cool features that we're going to be able to introduce as we continue to build this out, because Diamond Swap is a separate team than just DYOR. So all of the analytics, the charting, the development tools, etc., has a dedicated development team expanding upon that. And then the DEX itself has an additional team working on it to improve it. So every aspect of our entire ecosystem is being built up and improved every day in tandem to each other.
So we need to
go ahead, Pedro. Sorry.
We need, first of all, me and my project need to talk with you and your project. On a
How it's done right here on DYOR Live, ladies and gentlemen.
Because here's the thing, that how user friendly is it? Because sometimes these things are so complicated that you just get so frustrated. You're like, I don't want to deal with it, especially as a trader when I'm already dealing with charts and trying to understand. And then I gotta it may be able to be doable, but does it have easy access to be able to do it? Is it simple to be able to go click, click, click? Okay, cool.
I think they're going to unveil the thing soon, and we'll know. We'll be able to use it.
Yeah. So our graphics designer actually works for Adobe, and one of the things that we have all agreed on as a team is we want to be, the Apple feel of crypto, right? While it may be less technical, it is easier for the general person to use and understand the UI UX. And that's really our goal, is to be the most technical and performant platform, but allow for the platform to be modular in terms of how it's organized and what people view, so that we can make it as user-friendly and as simple as possible. Or if you're crazy, you could turn every feature on and it'll look nuts, but technically you could do it, right? So that's one of the things that's going to set DYOR apart, is you can actually make it how you want to be able to see it, right? If you're looking at transaction history, you can turn on like, oh, I want to see what the price is, what the time, how much is swapped, and just link me to the Block Explorer, and that's it. Or you could add in, and I don't see this information in a lot of other places, or any of them really, but you can add in like, okay, what is the market cap change between these two trades? What's what's the holder count difference? What does this mean in terms of X, Y, and Z? I mean, you're going to be able to completely customize dozens of settings for every different feature set that we release.
And by the way, so, typical to a lot of, if you think about how you're building out your own systems or tracking your own bits of information, if that's in a Google spreadsheet, for example, right? You want to have a list of criteria. And, so for example, if you want to pull up, just, a price list real quick, just on any website, doesn't matter, CoinMarketCap, tools, just like a list of all the tokens, and then you'll see all the columns to the right of it with a bunch of different criteria, whether that's, the daily volume or the holder count, or, whatever the case may be. With our platform, there's actually going to be, we're implementing right clicking. So none of these platforms you can ever right click like you would be able to on your PC or on your Mac. It
drives me crazy.
So, yes. So we're going to have right clicking options, and what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to select. You can check on and off which of these columns you want to see and which of them you don't want to see. That's the level of customization with our platform that you do not get anywhere else. And there's going to be a whole bunch of different a bunch of different columns that you can choose from. Whether that's any number of these plus a whole bunch of other ones, user count, holder count, percent change in holder count, and all kinds of other things. And by the way, we're building this for all of the traders out there. So the people that are part of our community are going to have a direct say in the features and functions that we're going to be implementing into this.
That's huge.
So
huge.
So not only is this going to be extraordinarily customizable, in point of fact, this gets so granular in terms of the customization, you can change the colors on the website.
Direct CSS control.
If you are a Kansas City Chiefs fan, you can change it to red and white. If you're a San Francisco 49ers fan, I'm just thinking because the
Raiders.
If you're a Raiders fan, you can change it to black and white. You can do whatever you want, and that it truly does embody the whole idea of DYOR. This is not a platform that we've built for you. This is your own platform with your own account and your own ability to customize, so that you can have your own incredible interface to be able to interact with Web3.
This reminds me of I use a trading platform / software stuff called Sierra Charts. It's so customizable. You almost get lost with everything you can do. And so they have an extensive A&Q. And so you sit there and you go through and they have a website. Is there going to be an ability where I can reach out to you guys? Because right now I can't reach out to Dex Tools, right? If I'm having issues and problems.
No.
Or if I need,
you can't reach out to Dex Tools even if you pay them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Will I be able to reach out to you guys like an actually 1-800 number or something like that, or at least a quick response to something I'm looking to do or try to do?
Yeah, one of the biggest problems in the entire space is the lack of customer service. And frankly, like just in the real world as well, if you've ever been online with a discount, this came up for me actually the last couple of days. If you've ever tried to deal with like a discount airline platform or something like that, and you get that elevator music because you call them up and you're just there for like 40 minutes, or a bank or
Spirit.
There you go. Yeah. Spirit meaning like we've ghosted you and therefore we're calling our company Spirit. So, it's a big problem.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Quick. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's a big problem, not just in Web3, but also Web2, and we want to put a stop to that. We're going to have dedicated customer service. There's also, frankly, there's also going to be a blend of just, really robust docs and a combination of that and AI. I've got a really good friend of mine who's really at the forefront of AI and built out this incredible machine that he's going to be helping to implement into our support network. So that way it can kind of do its own research as an AI, provide you back the most comprehensive, answers to really think through the questions that you're asking, to provide you step-by-step instructions and get you to the finish line. And if that doesn't work for you, then there's going to be actual human beings that are going to take your call, that are going to help you, walk you through things. There's going to be no mystery to this. There's going to be no sense of hopelessness. While we're catering the initial version of this to,
I feel your pain there. Yeah.
My money disappear, where it go,
Yep.
So while we're catering this towards people who are crypto native, if you will, people who have been in the space for a while, who are familiar with things like Dex tools and CMC, that's version 1 of this. Eventually, once it's robust enough and once it's the preferred choice of the space itself, then we get to open this up with this incredible, beautiful but simple user, UX UI, to be able to then offer this to the masses. And Hank loves to talk about this, so I'll, because exactly where I'm going, I think, with our favorite little icon. So you can share about that, just kind of as an extension of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, I mean, the platform itself is meant to be something that changes the way that the space sees how crypto products should be handled, right? Like we want to be able to, again, with just not just with customer support and access to the team, but instead of forcing you to not know what's going on and needing to reach out for support or anything that you're doing on the platform, we want to be able to allow the user to do their own research and learn how to use the platform without having to go talk to somebody, right? It should be intuitive enough when you're using the platform so that you can actually learn while you're using it, right? So if you ever used Microsoft Word and ran into a little thing called Clippy,
Clippy, yeah. Windows 95 Clippy. I remember Clippy.
Yeah, so we are going to be a platform that implements a Clippy type thing where you'll have your own wizard that walks you through how to utilize all of the product sets on the platform, right? We're going to try to build interactive tutorials and overlays on all of the features that we create so that we can, help you step by step learn how to do things on your own, potentially, take away some of the, how do I do this? How do I do this? Hey, can anybody help me? No one's on, waiting 2 hours kind of thing for a response. No, just go to the platform, use our walkthroughs and our wizards, and you'll be able to figure it out interactively with the platform itself without, having to wait for anybody else to be able to hop on and help you in that regard.
That's a lot. There's a lot. You guys are packaging a lot into this, and there's from what I can see here, there's two of you, but I understand there's a larger team. You have the charting people, from Diamond doing that type of stuff. So in your spaces earlier, you mentioned that while you're kind of pulling into the Web3 world and that type of stuff, the company's more like a Web2 company. You've got a real thing going here. Can you explain us how the company's organized? Is it a real company, or is this just bros in an apartment? I mean, give us a comfortable feeling of what's going on here behind the scenes.
Yeah. So for at least for the development aspect, it is actually my company since I started it when I was 10. It became a actual company it was in 2016. We have 14 employees right now. Who are full-time engineers, as well as some business dev guys, obviously the executive team and everything else. But yeah, we've been a full company since 2016. We started in video games for development and moved over to crypto heavily into crypto in 2021. And then we've just, we fell in love with it immediately. So all the developers that we've got
we've all caught the bug here.
Yeah. Everybody on the team, in terms of development, I mean, they have a hunger to try to do new and cool, innovative things. And then, obviously with the executive aspect of that, with Ben, myself, and everybody else who is on the business administration end. I mean, when Ben and I got introduced from another partner that we have, and it was literally like love at first sight kind of thing. Like Ben and I think we spent like 14 hours on the phone on the first day we were introduced, just like shooting, nonstop.
Did we just become best friends?
Quite literally, that was how it happened.
Yeah, this is our full-time, jobs. This isn't a hobby. We've established a corporation. There's a board that oversees that corporation. We are full-time employees of DYOR Dex. We have an entire team of lawyers. On top of the team of lawyers that we have, we also have lawyers internally. One of our other business partners is a practicing lawyer. We've got a firm on retainer, one firm on retainer. We have a second firm that's been assisting with a lot of the construction of this. And on top of that, on our advisory board is one of the general counsels for Coinbase. So we take this very seriously. This is a long-term project for us. There is, make no mistake about it. While we will be displaying a lot of meme tokens on our platform, we are not one of them. So this is a real business. This is going to be something that we hope is going to be a staple in the space. And frankly, it's something that if we didn't invent it ourselves, we would hope that somebody else did, because the space is really in need of an all-in-one platform that is more robust, more user-friendly. You have a better user experience than anything that is currently available on market. And, you're going to be hearing a lot more about us in the coming months as people start to recognize that there's something better out there.
Go ahead, Pedro. No, go ahead.
No, it's okay. So I have three things. One, I will.
Let's make them quick. Three quick things.
Yeah, I will shamelessly plug them. Plug you guys 100% if you can allow me to be able to move my stops and my targets on the chart and make it instant instead of sitting there and trying to plug it in with my hands and just getting frustrated.
So we are on chain, so instant. You'll still have to sign something, but that's definitely a goal that I can give the devs, and I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's I sign something automatically right when I first start. If you want like automatic trading, you need to sign this, boom, 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 right? And then explain it. I have no problem sitting there saying, all right, I signed the right to go ahead and for it to happen instantly so that I don't got to sit there and deal with the frustrations of it. Two, on the back end, when it comes down to, I guess somebody is a total degen like me at times, any plans to gamify trading with leaderboards and prizes, or is I and Mr. Dado Lawton too much of degens?
That's a question on behalf of a community member.
Yeah.
Like I said, the devs came from a video game background and then moved into crypto. So when you mention a GameFi or anything that has to do with competition, that is absolutely something that they love to implement, right? So it is, once we are caught up to where we want to be and at the level of whatever the competitors have, that's when the fun stuff begins. And Ben and I spend probably at least a few hours every single day doing ideation and coming up with cool things like, yo, we should add, I think our roadmap is up to like 2050 at this point.
Well, my grandson will be in charge of this one.
Yeah. So there's definitely like an unlimited avenue of things that we can add that are special features, things that we really want to see implemented, things that we know that, it might not be done this year, but definitely things that we can do next year, et cetera. So we're towing the line of what is crazy ideas versus what is doable for the time period. But and that's where like my COO comes in. He'll reel Ben and I in of, guys, we can't actually build this yet. We have to build this, and this first. And we're like, but come on. So yeah, it's definitely it's a game building this in and of itself.
All right, quickly here, Dina Shock asks, will there be a chart of the holders of a token, increase, decrease holder counts, that type of stuff?
Yep, we are able to track holder count, unlike most of the other platforms out there. We'll be able to display that data. Pretty much any data point you want, if it's not displayed anywhere else, if we don't already have it, you tell me you want it and I'll add it.
All right, Morton asks, when Diamond is going to be a part of DYOR Dex and why the need for 2 tokens?
So DYOR's token itself has its own utilities throughout the platform. It can give discounts, different benefits, staking incentives, things like that. The Diamond token itself for the other platform is primarily so that we are able to service liquidity for perpetuals. So it'll tie into a lot of that. It's mainly for liquidity purposes for Diamond, versus DYOR has several other utilities and things built into it for the platform itself.
All right, thank you very much. So Dina has now liked and subscribed and said cool. So you got some good answers. I got a good question for you. Some of these transactions, you're talking about cross-chain and going one way or another way. It's pretty complicated. As you know, going from one chain to another is always fraught with problems and all that. Are you relying on like public bridges and public blockchains? Or do you also, because of using various liquidity pools, have access to private networks and that type of stuff?
So we have our own bridge built out already using the underlying technology of Wormhole. We've already tested that and are able to facilitate that now using our own modules built on top of their infrastructure, but we are looking into several other ways to be able to service that. Again, all of our goals being safety as the number one concern when you're talking about bridging, but the speed and efficiency being obviously number two.
Right.
Where if we're able to, and we are, because we've already scoped this out and designed it and things like that, but we're looking into having our own like X chains and private networks that we're able to facilitate through as well, depending on which network it is, right? So that there's a lot of things that go into multi-chain that the normal users don't see, especially guardians, relayers, and all of these different types of things that people utilize. But there's also safe blocks that exist. So some networks have instant finality. Some require a certain amount of blocks to process. One could be an hour. The other one could be 5 seconds. And it's it's kind of like a give and take. Like, okay, well, what routes are we going to want to service? What is worth it for the business, et cetera. So that's all.
And how many MEV bots
measure.
can you avoid? Right.
Well, and things that we're building out, and definitely the infrastructure partnerships that we have. Like we have a enterprise partnership with Alchemy. We are working directly with the Morales team. We're working with Indexer. We're working with Subquery. Like we have a lot of different partnerships that we're able to also aggregate and pull data from, as well as utilizing their deep RPC infrastructures, so that we are able to actually prevent MEV attacks from happening when we're servicing trades through our smart contracts. Yeah,
I hate them. And there's also we've had a couple of groups on here like the Secret Foundation and that type of stuff, and talking about how to keep the trade secret until it's actually done. And it just galls me when people front run trades. And to be honest, if certain things happen in Washington D.C., there are certain people talking about when a retail customer makes a trade, anything that front runs it is front running, making those types of things illegal. Obviously, with the worldwide jurisdiction, that's going to be almost impossible type stuff. But still,
we can't stop North Korea. Yeah,
right. We can.
Literally
click. But you're right, and so that MEV bot. Obviously, every once in a while you hear a good story about it, where one guy's MEV bot robs somebody, and a white hat guy robs that guy, and then you're like, "Yay, one for the good guys!" But it's still a mess, and it's not. Once you place a trade, there shouldn't be people lining up to front run you. They tried to eliminate that for years and years and decades, and probably a century or so. And it's back in full force.
I mean, here's the thing, and this is where, again, institutions are in.
Chris Bailey from Morales is in the chat, loving what you're building. Thanks for joining us, Chris. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much. They've been saying good things about you, and if you want any of the bloopers where they don't say good things, I'll send them to you on the side.
But here's the thing, and I bring this up because this isn't anything like front running is. I hate to say, you're never going to get rid of it. Just simply because the reality is this, is when you start to see, I mean, just look at me. I'm sitting there constantly looking at a chart, waiting for a front runner to see the explosion. And I can see which ones, when it's just a fake turnaround where they're literally pumping up to drop it down based off the movement of the candle. So, I mean, as things can become more sophisticated, so does the trader become more sophisticated. So I don't think you can do that. What I think you can do on the back end is literally going through, setting up a way where you can actually have a secrecy of the trade that actually happens, and then if it then it gets initiated, you can then go through and actually establish it on the OTC aspect, right? So that you don't have to sit there, or you can have interchangeable where people are trying to offload, and you can sit there and say, we have offloading right now. If you want to buy in at this period in time, we know most likely it's going to go down to this level, and you can become a base level, right? So it's like,
I don't know what the hell you just said there, Pedro. I'm behind you there. Pedro's the technical one on here. I'm the host of the show and the entertainer.
So it's an interesting conversation, and I know there's a lot of people that are smarter than me trying to solve it as well. But that is one of the R&D sections that we're definitely planning out and trying to look into it. But there's a lot that we can do once we're caught up to the roadmap of where we want to be. I know the guys have been throwing out ideas for months on all of the cool things that we can do, and that is definitely a point of contention, because if we can solve that, then the why DYOR Dex over Uniswap conversation becomes
huge.
Nothing.
Like, who is Uni something? What?
You know who?
Yeah, you know who? Absolutely. I think that, and actually there are ways to do it, but you more have to be kind of off-chain setting, just like what we see in traditional finance in a sense, right? Where it's like, okay, we're going in, we're going to buy part of this, but that's for down the road when you guys, need a little bit of that. But anyways, I'm saying this because I love what you guys are doing. Like, you're literally listening to the people. Like, you're literally saying, hey, can I get this kind of set up here? And you're like, you know what? Yeah, give us 3-4 months, we'll get that going, right? And
is this the right Morales I've got here on the screen?
Yep. Ivan on Tech is actually one of the people that we brought onto our cap table, and he is one of the founders, or at least people of influence within the Morales community. So he is he's been a huge benefit to us, not only in his reach and through his amazing community, but with the Morales side as well. It didn't hurt having the immediate introduction.
Well, I guess that leads me to the last question that I had written down ahead of time here is you've got a lot going on. You've got people, you've got your company, you've got things outside your company. How is this whole thing funded? And you brought up cap table, so I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, so
that's all you bet.
The initial bit of this was self-funded. We've been in the space for a long time. We've benefited from being in this space, and so we wanted to build this thing because we wanted to build it. And so we just started off on that journey. Very quickly, we realized that there was a pretty large interest of other people who said, hey, I'm pretty interested in what you're building. I think this is pretty great as well. And so we teamed up with some of the largest KOLs in the space who have decided to come on board and support this, both in terms of their networks and financially. Some of them have been made public. If you actually go and sign up for an account on DYOR Dex, you can see some of those folks. They're in our leaderboard on our website. Guys with 7-figure followings and things like that. And that's primarily where the support has come from in terms of who is funding this whole project to see it to fruition. For all of you guys out there curious about the token components of this, we are, perhaps a handful of days away from announcing a major partnership with one or potentially two of the biggest launch pads in the space. So there's going to be a public IDO that is going to be available for folks as well. And we've got big plans for the launch. We can't get into those things until they're official, but I can assure you that behind the scenes, we're extremely excited about the people and the organizations that we're teaming up with in that regard. It's really plain and simple. The initial support for this is people that are going to bring the most value to the project by making sure that millions and millions of people are aware that we exist, to help us onboard the larger crypto community, to get them to start using this platform. And so, like I said, in the coming months, you're going to be seeing probably a lot less DEX tools coin market cap and a lot more DYOR Dex.
Well, that would be good, because then we can say we were there at the beginning, from a retail perspective. I know it's going through your guys' head for a long time here.
Exactly.
I guess Pedro, any other questions about the project here before we wrap this segment of the show up? Pedro's on mute right now, taking that phone call from important investors.
Yeah. All right, my friend. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yeah. So one of the things I just wanted to bring up here real quick is just when you guys get so huge and you're just megalithic, and I got to look up at like, hey guys, how are you? Will you promise to come back on and shout us out in our small little YouTube channel here?
Absolutely. Look, I mean, look, guys, the bottom line here is that, yeah, we're busy. We're building out a really big platform.
Absolutely.
But this is about the community. I know a lot of projects say that, but we're literally building a product that is meant to support the community at large. And so we do want to hear from everybody, and we want the message to go far and wide, and small and large doesn't matter to us. It's all part of this incredible community that we love and that we've been a part of for a very long time. And yeah, we'd love to come back on. We've had a great time.
Awesome. We'll play more metal too.
quick shout out, one of our fans from Harare, Zimbabwe, Royal Q in the house, looking forward to using your product. Thank you, Royal Q, for joining us. Any last questions from the audience? But it doesn't seem to be any response to that. They've asked some good questions. I missed a few of them. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to ask questions, head over to the DYOR Dex Telegram, where they answer questions all day long. And when is your normal spaces that you guys have?
So yeah, we're hosting Twitter Spaces now, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from them. DYOR Dex, thank you, gentlemen, for coming on. We really appreciate it, the time you took to explain what's going on. Let us know what an awesome project that's coming. We can't look forward to tracking it, and look forward to having you guys back in the future when you're killing it.
Thanks, everyone.
Wait, before you guys go. If you want to hang out,
never lets anyone. No, it's time for them to go, Pedro. We got stuff to do.
Wait, one last thing. I know you got to do. I want to hear about your situation, how you got in on one of the ones that we've been looking at. DYM. I think it was not Sean. One of you guys got into this. We just looked at it, and I just
Dimension.
I want to hear. Dimension.
Now,
there you go.
For Dimension, I'm stupid and forgot to put my wallet so that I could claim the actual airdrop. So I missed it because of this blonde hair right here.
Oh man. Okay, bad subject.
I would have. I think looking at my buddy did pretty much the exact same type of activity on his wallet, and I would have gotten like 500 tokens.
Oh wow, bro. That would have been, especially at 20 cents, dude. That's a nice day. That would have been a nice day.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming on. Really appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. DYOR Dex. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. What a great group of guests. Great show. Great project they got coming up, and everyone should look forward and look into them. Head to their website, DYORDex.com. And get signed up and registered and wait for their launch.
There you have it.
Pedro, love seeing those good things come on like that. I love it when you don't really know much about it, but then you're surprised about it, and I mean, the stuff they had going on was a lot more than I thought. We have these people on a lot that talk about, well, they're going to develop this and develop that, and like I say, it's a dude in his mom's basement. And then you get a company that comes on and says, oh no, we have actual cap table and investors and things like that, and this employees and this and projects, and we're going to launch this stuff, and you're like, oh, this is a good thing.
Yeah,
Boss
absolutely.
Vision, thank you very much, appreciate it. DYOR at 24, he says, oh, that's good. One of the things that Pedro, I struggled with DYOR versus DYOR, and then the various isms, like they call it sometime in their community, DYORians. I've heard that used around the internet a lot. DYOR 24, that rhymes, it sounds nice, but it doesn't work in other languages. Crypto is worldwide, and so a lot of these little rhyming things that work well in English, they mean like have relations with your mother in Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. So
that's not good,
right?
Yeah.
And so that's not good at all.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons why I went back to just DYOR in English letters. Because you never know. You never know what Diorian in our language and Mongolian might be like, insulting the family's father, and then you better run for your life because he's going to chop your head off.
This is true. What's interesting is, and you bring this up because I think it's really, like, I forget what company it was. I don't know if it was Kia, Toyota. I think it was Kia, and they put Kia in Spanish, and I think it means no go. And so it was a car that was named No Go. Surprisingly, it did not do that well. Shockingly, right? Yeah, somebody.
I had a friend who she ran her own architecture firm, and she was doing some work on our house a long time ago, and her business name. The initials for her business were FEA. So she had a construction hat, and on the back of it, it said, and on the front, FEA, and in Spanish, that's fea, and
Fea.
it means ugly.
Yeah.
She would walk around with this hat on, and she was a tall, decent-looking, professional woman, and all the people that spoke Spanish on the job site would just like watch her walk by, and they're like, she's not ugly. People thought that she lost a bet and had to wear when people lose their football draft and they have to wear insults on themselves or their fantasy leagues and stuff like that. Anyway, we still got a good core group of people here on LinkedIn. We're gonna head over and review some projects and things like that. If you want to talk about anything, please let us know. Behind the scenes, Kaching has been I don't know. He's shining me up here for a little bit for not getting in Dimension when he brought it up. And I'm like, you're right, man. You're right.
They gotta hurt. They gotta sting a little. Ooh.
Yep.
We had the guy who did do the shout out, a complete shill, but I don't mind that. Like I'm cool with stuff like that. Like,
I know. He just put the shill in there, and I was like, all right, I'm putting it up.
You got it. BOS. But I do want to check out BOS just because, like, you don't know. We'll see what's up.
Might as well.
That was it. Please. Oh, it's boss. Please CINS. You want me to check out? I just realized that I am an idiot. Boom. Let's try that again. Let's see what's up. BOS. CEK. I don't know if that's check. But we'll see CEK. Boom. Nope. And the next one is INS. INS. All right, this is what it is right here. USDT. Let's play. Boom. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, this one. I don't know about that one. It doesn't even have a. Let's go to the 4 hour.
Looks like the money's coming out of that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that isn't looking too pretty. Let me.
Chuck, we will for sure get to the regulars: ADA, Matic, Atom, BNB, whatever feels right. We'll hit the usuals, and of course anything else. Someone's shilling something like that guy that popped on. I can't find that post now.
I got it right here. Actually pull it up. Yeah. Boom. Yeah, so it's pretty simple. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, this I would say no. But I do have to admit though,
Are like every one of those ones you pull up the same chart?
yeah, well,
That'd be
kind of.
not
So,
good.
well, it's not necessarily like you can see right here that there is volume stepping in on here for Polex. What I don't know how to say it. Polexin. So it's decent. It's not bad. There is volume. You can see it buys and sells, and I don't know if this is the actual team sitting there and buying this, but it is something that is, there is real volume here playing back and forth. I'm looking. There's really no place to get in on a smaller time frame. I mean, if you're looking to get in, I guess down right here, but I already tapped that, so it would be this area right here is where I would look to get in if I was to get in. Boom. At this level here is what I would look to do, and you can see I already tapped in, and potentially right here, and you can see I found the base here. Tried to make a new higher high, but it didn't. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So if you're going to look to get in on this baby, I'm getting right here at these lower levels at the 10 cent area here. You can see it's already kind of pushed up a little bit from it, but we're putting in lower highs. And so to me, it just screams it's going to go lower. So, yeah. What's next? What do you guys want us to look at?
Chuck says, look at the normal ones. ADA, Atom, BNB.
Got it. I'm on it. Just pull them up. Boom. Oh, we did add. So real quick, just one last little thing. We did get in right here, right? So we need to put in, because I did talk about putting in 30% at this upper level of that. So that's $300. Should be right here. I think he wanted me to do more than that, but
Yeah, I said let's put $1,000 in there. Yeah, we put in an order and it hit it.
yeah. So it would have been at the 5, 6, 10 area. Is where I said we wanted to get in at. About 30%, so that's like $300.
Let's
30%,
see,
30 to 40%.
portfolio.
All right, let's pull up.
All right, what are we buying here? Add transaction.
Yeah, this would be DYM.
Oh, that's right. We bought it on the show, but not in my own wallet. And how much? What price was it at? 5. Just give me a rough price.
It's 560. Say 561.
And we bought $1,000 worth. So 75, 125, 150, 175, 179. We'll just round it to 180, $108. All right. But then I gotta sell some USDT to fund this. So.
All right. While you're doing that, I'll just
Yes,
jump
sir.
into the chart here real quick. All right, guys. So you can see here we brought ETH has busted out of this area, and it is starting to continue. No volume, but it is moving up. You want to see it push up. What we want to see again is just more volume, but apart from that, you want to see it basically be bouncing off of that 8 period moving average. So if you're looking at this area right here, you want to say I'm going to remove these, and this area should be an area of when it pulls back to, should look maybe around the 2373 area to the 2360, because we've got that 8 period starting to find some support on that. If you're going to go long here on ETH, potentially it could move up, but I'm expecting this to go down. I mean, it's just not. Look, there's a ton of sellers and nothing really stepping in. So
Operation Phoenix just launched on CoinGecko. Why don't you pull their chart up and see if there's a pump from that? Oh, there is a pump from that. Is that the?
Let me see here real quick.
That doesn't look right.
Do I have the correct pair here? Is this
They have two. They have one on
operation?
Pancake Swap and one on their own swap.
Yeah. So you can see here, fell through this area here. Let me put the 4 hour here. So we saw a little pump, but it fell through, and now it is kind of going sideways here. So, upper range.
Wait,
operation.
CoinGecko and CMC really just don't do it anymore.
Yeah, and this is off of BNB. Let me check BNB. Is BNB drop in here real quick?
Well, that reminds me, I'm going to unload some of the BNB in our portfolio. I've been wanting to do that.
No. BNB's been moving up now. I think we bought in at the top. To not like we're doing. I told you guys not to buy it at the top.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Yeah.
You're like, if all you had to do is listen. You even drew it. You drew it how it was going to go.
Yeah.
It was just like your chart. You're like, no, it's going to do this and come down and then come back up.
Yeah. So if anything, we'll just wait.
But we're blaming Crypto Mike for it. Just remember that. Oh, wrong one. This one. Thank you, Crypto Mike.
Was not too long ago. The CG, what's that?
CoinGecko.
Our CoinGecko. Yep. So you can see here real quick. Binance is definitely starting to pump. I don't like the fact that we don't have a demand wick, but look, what I do like about the fact that we actually have real volume coming in that's actually holding it and steadily pushing it up. So that's another thing I do like. But if you look at the weekly chart, we actually played really well. So if you look at Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, went up, came down, tapped that 50 period moving average, and now it's continuing up. So it's one of those things that now we should see some type of breakout of BNB. Should. The fact that we're coming with decent volume and now continuing. I would expect today maybe to finish around where we're sitting at right now and then see it come down tomorrow, put the wick into the evening, and they can see it coming back up to that 377 area here. XRP is looking wah. It's still normal. It's still around that. It's just we're ping-ponging off of the higher time frame zones on that weekly chart. You have the 50 period moving average. We have the 8 period moving average coming down quickly. And additionally to that, we're sitting on that 100-day weekly average sitting right here. So it's something to be paying attention. I would wait for a sell-off because this isn't. I mean, XRP looks like it's going to continue down here as we move forward.
Oh shit! I'm getting distracted here. What did you just have up there? XRP.
Yeah, XRP.
Oh, so I had the BNB chart still back up, sign back up there.
Oh, it's okay.
Sorry, I was sending a thank you note to the people at DYOR Dex.
Hopefully they like their craziness. So,
no, but I did get a nice comment from them. Super high quality, great event, and that warms my heart because I try to put so much effort into this and making it very high quality and that type of stuff. And one of their marketing people says, I had the Bowie song stuck in my head the whole time because of my shirt, Major Tom to Ground Control. And that's the point.
That's so awesome, dude. You know what's so funny, man, is the little things are so like this. Just we how we're always referring back to like, what's the word? Like, just tap it in, or these little small things that our generation X, generation Y, just it rings so true to us, right? We're like, oh yes, just that, it's that nostalgia, and I think that's important. Also, just that aspect of, it just keeps things light, keeps things fun, but yet we do get pretty decently technical here, right? It's not like we're definitely not bankless, but I mean we're not a yo bro show as well, so.
No yo bro.
So let's go ahead and check out Cardano here. ADA is sitting, it's starting to pop for the daily here. It's got, like I talked about earlier, we have that 50 period moving average. We don't have a demand wick here again. But what I do like is we're seeing some volume step in, which is good. We're going to wait and see what happens with this 50 period moving average here. If it does pop and we pierce that, right, and I start to see some weakness in it, then that's a good sign. That's a really good sign. If this holds it, and we'll see it come back down to these lower levels of the 47 mark area. So we're kind of in between that 54 and the 48 area here. Let's check out the higher time frames here, like we talked about over the past week. We do have that 8-period moving average sitting above us, and we also have a 100 period where we did try to bounce, we weren't able to. So we're stuck in between this just the sideways action. That weekly 8 is been pierced though, so that does show weakness in this. So it's all going to depend on how we play off of the on the daily 50. If we tap it and we don't see a strong reaction off of it, expect it to push through to it. So let's check out Doge. Doge is basically just going sideways here. We did see a little bit of a pump, but still kind of moving up. Let's check out Solana. Solana, even though we don't have a lot of volume, we did close above the previous day and above that 8 period. So what we want to see is a comeback test of that 8 and 20 is this in this area, which is the weekly 8 that we've been messing and kind of oscillating off of. So we want to see some volume step in as we continue higher. If we're starting to put higher highs and higher lows, that's good. The fact is that we did tap below it, and this is where I was wrong. I went back and actually looked at the chart or that show, and I said that we should see it follow down into this 50-period moving average. But we saw a decent amount of volume coming in the next day. So this right here is a huge indication that we're starting to see a continuation up. I would expect us to see now come tap potentially the 129 area to see if it's going to go through. The fact that it's holding off of this 89 or 85 to 95 to 84 is a good sign of bullishness as it continues up, if it does. So this is the area then I would look to see, all right, let's go ahead and get in. Let's put a decent amount of some of your position in right here, because it might not continue down based off of what we're seeing here. But I bring this up. I want to see more volume because I'm not seeing enough conviction on the volume, but we are having higher highs and higher lows. We are above the moving averages, which is a bullish sentiment.
Let's look into Matic for Chuck, and I have a little interest in Matic too, because I've been following them, and I think they're getting ready to start moving up here.
Yeah. So Adam. Or Matic, Polygon here is literally tapping against this 450 period moving average. This right here would be then a 100-day weekly moving average on the weekly. So we're still kind of ping-ponging off of this level. It's already been pierced a couple times, so we might see it pull back a little and then continue up. I think back here when we push through the 20-period moving average, I communicated saying that we should see it come back down to here. The fact that we're finding support on that 20-period moving average indicates to me, hey, we're going to at least come back and test this 86 mark area here, simply because we have that 200-period moving there. That should draw price to that area, which is about right up in this level. So we'll say about, if you want to look for a quick little trade up, potentially that 92 to about a 95 area.
Where do you think the point to get in is here?
Well, the point is to get in when it sells off, right? So, but if you're going to get in,
the point was right. It was right here at the low here the other day. That's where, in fact, that's where right when it was starting to come up, I was looking at that and I was like, I should have got in there. Shoulda, woulda, but didn't. Didn't gain any money, but I didn't lose any money, so it's still good.
But what's interesting is a lot of these charts here, you can see that we're starting to put in some volume, right? It's not a lot, but it's starting to build. So, and the fact that we're above a lot of these moving averages shows me that potentially we could see a rally here off of this before we see a drop down. Again, we still need to come back and test those lows of the previous year. We see that every time in crypto, before it has its April run up.
Right.
So I want to just make sure we understand that. I mean, I'm starting to see some volume step in, and starting to see kind of higher highs. We're clearing the moving averages, which is a good sign of when volume comes in, we could push through and get to new highs on a lot of these altcoins. Let's check out AVAX here real quick. AVAX here, as you guys can see, we have the similar situation like we saw with ADA. Key though here is with AVAX. If AVAX really starts to pump, because I'm not seeing a lot of like real volume like we've seen with the other ones, you know what? I think it'd be short-lived simply because it might hit our area of resistance, which is at that $50 to $46 mark. So I'd expect to see this basically kind of come back and tap this the 200-day period moving average, which is sitting at the $30 mark. So that's pretty much it. Shiba Inu,
Shib.
It's basically showing some, as you can see, it's a sideways action between here. It's still got a lot of these moving averages in front of it. So I'd expect to see this have a little ping pong effect until we get above the 50 period moving average. So that's it in a nutshell. Anything else, guys?
Let's take a look at, let's see, the AI things you mentioned the other day. I got them up on the screen. Render, fetch, singularity. So let's bring those back and.
Absolutely. Here we are. AI projects. So we have AGIX. AGIX is basically just going to consolidate them. You can see we have a few higher time frame SMA sitting above us, but it's piercing it. It's showing some strength as it's actually piercing it. So that's one of the things we kind of want to see here. It's not, I mean, you can see it's sold down, it's sold off once it hit that 50, but you can see how we rebounded back up, and now it's just kind of consolidating at these areas. So I would love to see a little bit more volume step in on the buy side, but this is a good sign showing that it potentially could go up to these new highs back to that 36 area mark. Fetch here, it's kind of still below these moving averages, so it's a bit weaker than a lot of the other ones, or the one that we were just looking at. But the reality though is that it's AI product. They've been around since the last bull run. Potentially a surge in the AI marketplace, you would see an increase in value here, simply because the way the institutions work is they'll find sectors of groups of stocks and they'll just buy pretty much all of them, and then the top, let's say top 10, receives the majority of the market cap because they would rather be blue chip.
Hola, Alicia.
Hey, Alicia, how are you? So I would see that in that aspect. Let's check out right here a singularity is showing some selling off here. Expect, like I said earlier, to see kind of hit this 28 area mark for a turnaround. Excuse me.
What's singularity's code here?
Oh, that's going to be SDA.
SDAO. Oh yeah. Is there two singularities, a DAO and another one?
Maybe potentially. I do not know. It's the one.
You know what? I guess what's the one I have on the page here? That is. Oh, there's AGIX, and then there's Singularity.net and Singularity DAO. Ugh. Oh, that confuses me.
You guys can see here on render, it's definitely looking fire here. It's above the moving average. Fuego. Yeah, it's not actually. It looks good. It actually looks good here. We're above the moving averages, and the reality it's pierced the moving average, and that moving average is pointed upwards. So that's a sign for me, simply saying it's showing strength. Even though I don't have a ton of volume on a sell week, that's a good sign, because the fact is that it's been going up, and then this week we should see more sellers step in to push it down, but it's not pushing down. So that means people are definitely much more bullish than bearish on this project here. You should be able to sit there and see a high of probably next week we'll probably see it try to tap this high again. So that's in a nutshell. Why are people?
Give us one at Adam if you get a chance. If you need to take that, feel free.
Yep. Give me 1 sec. We'll see in a second. Adam. It's AMAD.
ATOM, Adam.
Adam. Oh. Yeah. Was it Cosmo? Oh.
Yeah, I've got to pay attention to Cosmo. I have not. I don't even think I have a wallet that supports Cosmo. Or does MetaMask have a plugin for that? I don't know. Whatever.
Probably does. I mean, I'm almost positive that they do. I mean,
I don't know. Are they an EVM, Cosmo? I know nothing about them. And here I am, people making scads of cash monies on it. I got nothing.
Well, it's not hard. I mean, if anything, you can just go through and just purchase, kind of some of the stuff that actually happens, by going through. I mean, if anything, you could just go on a central exchange and get some coinage there, and then just move it off chain.
That's a good point.
To your own wallet. So I mean, I have a friend of mine who showed me how to. I was like, dude, that's actually really smart. He goes, if certain things are pumping, bro, I'll just simply go through, get in on it on an exchange. If he doesn't know how to like get it, and how to use the DeFi aspect behind it,
right?
Goes, I'll just buy it on a social exchange and then move it off, chain onto my wallet, later. So I just thought that was actually smart. I was like, oh, that's actually smart. If there's a mass exodus, let's say something's falling apart, sometimes they'll close those down real quick on that exchange if there's a
right, exactly.
As we've seen in the past. So yeah, Cosmo here is again, we're kind of stuck between these moving averages. We have those higher time frames, as you guys can see, that 8, the 89, we have the 100 still playing in. That's in effect with Cosmo. So for me, I would sit there and say, it's got some battling to do. It's going to need a lot of volume for it to push through to get through that 200 period moving average. That 200 period moving average is sitting in an area of sellers, and
which color is that? It's this red one here.
That's that's the purple, or excuse me, the pink one, sitting at the 13.8 area, 1380 area. So yeah, but. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem there. Oh, let's see. While Pedro takes that, we had a good show today. We're coming to the end of the show, and for those of you that stuck around after the event today, thank you very much. There's only a couple of you left here. But this show is broadcast on YouTube, Twitch, Kick. Thank you to everyone that joined there. And, of course, Facebook also. It was not on LinkedIn, but I'm going to drop it on LinkedIn later. LinkedIn does dumb things. You're not allowed to upload a 2-hour-long video, but you can live stream for 2 hours, and they will record it. So I have to run it as a live event on LinkedIn, and I'm going to coordinate that with DYOR Dex so we can tag the right people and all that type of stuff. Let's see what else we got going on here. I had a whole bunch of news to talk about, but we've gone on long enough today here on that. Good turnout today. 21 likes, 86 views so far on Moving Up. Average view of almost 20 minutes per viewer, so that's good. Good
I
indeed.
apologize.
There's Pedro. Pedro's coming back. I was just kind of giving everyone the summary of the show and all that today as we're coming to the end of the show here. But if anyone's got any last charts for Pedro to look over while we're going here, please let us know. Otherwise, thanks to everyone that's been joining us.
Yeah. Well, let me go ahead and finish off Cosmo here real quick. So Cosmo, and actually let me go over a couple of the other ones, the smaller ones that we've been talking about. I still am a holder, actually, as I jump off of Cosmo. Where are you at, Cosmo? I thought I have Cosmo up here. No, must not. AT. Oh, there you are. Oh, AT. As you guys can see here, we do have a ping pong effect going on right here, right now. So it's one of those things I think you should, kind of just wait, until either if you want to catch the breakout, you can grab the breakout and definitely check out. But the biggest key is that you guys simply are paying attention to what's actually happening in the market, right? Pay attention, wait for sell-offs to buy, right? That's where you want to get in. Like right now we had a bit of a sell-off. We didn't leave any real demand wick here, right? So I expect to see this potentially come back, tap this 8-period moving average and come back and tap this area. You want to see it where it looks something like this. Boom, pop. And so that's what you're looking to capture a part of. Let's go ahead real quick and go to Crow, because I know I've been looking at Crow, dollar cost averaging in it. Again, just so that everybody knows, I do have some Crow. I need to start doing that because I know I can get in trouble if I don't.
Yeah, but if you're just generally reviewing them in requests, if you're reviewing them for requests of people is one thing, and if you're pumping it like, dude, you got to buy here, put all your money in it, that's a little different.
You're like, put your life savings in it, man.
Right now, man.
Yeah, you're gonna be a billionaire, man.
And then it pumps, and you sell. Then you have an issue. If you're just going over the charts, it's not a big deal.
It's crazy, man. The last bull run, man, and how that was going on was so crazy. I mean, when I look back and I think about like these guys were literally these YouTube guys who would sit there and go through, and they would literally. I just didn't understand. Like I didn't think I literally kept thinking to myself, when the SEC actually catches what's actually going on, dude,
they were pumping them right on the. It was a straight boiler room
air.
They were just pumping it right on the air, and it would go up, and then they'd sell behind the scenes. They'd be like, "Oh, look, somebody sold! I can't believe it." Meanwhile, it was them.
Dude, and imagine when the SEC really realizes that.
Oh, they know it, but there's nothing they can do anymore. The guys are gone. They're already broke. They blew their money. There's nothing for the SEC to collect on. Or they ended up in the trunk of a Lincoln, in an alley somewhere. So,
yeah, that's real, right? There's a few.
couple of those guys from countries of ill repute and wound up in the chopping block, as they say.
Yeah, that's like legitly real. And I remember I had somebody else telling me, like, you should do that type of stuff. And I said, no. like that.
I'm good. I want my limbs and my freedom.
Yeah. Because you'll always have to look over your shoulder, man. Like, if you're telling how you honestly think and what you feel, that's a different story, right? Versus all of a sudden you're selling in the background. And a lot of those guys did, man. It's actually really sad.
Some of what's so obvious, you go back and watch the YouTube stream, and as it's pumping, you see the guy look down at it and is holding his phone here, and all of a sudden you see a big red candle, and then he puts his phone down like this, and he's like, "Oh, I can't believe someone sold. I can't believe they screwed us."
Yeah. It was. One day they're gonna have to stand before a maker, and if you believe in that sort of thing, and I have to give an account, and you'll sit there and be like, "Yeah, buddy, that's all you, and this is who you hurt."
They'll be at the pearly gates there, and the guy will be like, "Can you take a number here?" And the guy will take the number, and it'll be like 17 quadrillion, and the number will say, "We're on number 4." Well, you're gonna be waiting a while there, buddy.
And they don't serve hors d'oeuvres.
Right. So, we call this purgatory.
Welcome to the P-Land.
Right.
Enjoy your stay.
Take a number. It's 17 quadrillion. Yeah, we're on 4.
It's like DMV, dude. Dude, talk about, dude, you walk in, dude, and you're just like, take a number. Who was that? Beetlejuice. Remember Beetlejuice?
Right, yes.
Dude.
Yes, Charles calls out one of the YouTubers that I'm not going to say it, but the comment says that it was called suspicious trading. He was one of the guys that would do that and pump up a project. And he'd have devs on of just shit meme coins, and he'd just be telling the dev, just tell him it's going to $2. People were buying, FOMOing in, and then we'd get up to like 10 cents, and then that suspicious guy would just sell. But that's how a bunch of us, a lot of these guys you see that comment here, we all found each other because of that one YouTube channel.
Gotta love
Scammed
each
us.
other.
Scammed us.
Oh, well, hello there, Mr. Adolf, or is that Adolfo? Oh,
Two stocks I'm
Adolfo.
considering investing in are INBS and FGen. They're risky, but I think it's time to be risky. What are your thoughts? Well, we don't really do stocks, but I bet you Pedro can call it up and help you shill your product a little bit there.
Let's check it out here real quick. Who brings you along here, Mr. Adolfo H?
Right. Get the thing. Adolf with an H last name. Right.
That's right.
That might not be the best name for social media.
Yeah, that would not be, because you're right. Adolf
H.
Yeah. That's not. Yeah, I think that's definitely
his other
parody account.
his other alt is Stalin, J. You know? Well, thanks for whatever your means for coming on here today, Adolfo. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
appreciate the engagement as well.
Please hit that like button and subscribe. We'd appreciate that as well.
Well, you had to subscribe to comment, so.
INB. Yeah, but here we go. So INBS, Intel. Is that it? Correct? Adolfo?
INBS.
Ooh. What do
they do? They're both in NASDAQ.
Yeah. I would say no. And the only reason why I would say no is simply just looking at the chart. It looks like somebody did try to trade these guys last week, and did do a pump. Is there news on this company? Is there something here that you might want to let me know? Next, you'll be saying I can't spot a Charlie
Chaplin mustache.
Oh, that's funny.
Adolfo, is there any news about INBS? Anything of note that would? Obviously, there's a big buy candle there out of the blue. Somebody made an investment in that stock, and then it promptly sold off. Somebody said, "Thank you for that exit liquidity. Thank you very much."
Yeah, that's exactly what that was. I don't know why you know about this, but yeah, this is, if there's something here that's special, let me look at it, and I'll definitely just let us know. We might put, if you come along, I'll just start following these. There is articles, sure. We'll go check it out. Come through next time. Come through. We'll start following this. Let's
click
go
that
ahead.
bell and be notified when we go live. And
absolutely,
we do this. We have guests on the show periodically. We have news, that type of stuff. Some days we just BS. But we always go over the charts and what our viewers are interested in. We'll pay attention to for a while.
Absolutely. I'm going to see here. What is this all-time? Wow. Oh, man, this looks like a crypto chart, but this hurts.
It does look like a crypto chart.
Oh, my goodness, bro. Look at that. In one day, in 2 days, it went from 2,000 literally to 3,400. And then, I mean, imagine being these people right here.
Oh, my God. It's almost impossible in stocks to lose, 99% of your money, but here's a prime example. What about FGen? What about that? Let's take a look at FGen.
Wait, I gotta see how far. So this is literally 275. Ouch. Well, I guess you could make some money. Just if you do get into this, don't put a ton of money in. Just put like $100 in. You know what I'm saying? If you get a 10x on this, which is potentially possible. I mean, reality is.
Adolfo says it's a fallen giant. I love the chart. I think he's hoping for the Luna, the Luna Classic there, where you can go in and make a few X's on low liquidity and hopium.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Adolfo? If you're gonna get a bounce, you know what I'm saying? It could potentially get up to that 485 area potentially, but in all reality, I would expect this really to kind of just go down unless they have some real fundamental aspects of that's really supporting that. I don't expect us to see this push up. There's got to be some real fundamental changes within the stock for this to move up to a giant of a $3,000. I mean, this that would be that'd be a 1500x at this level for it to get back up. And if it's a stock, that's going to take a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, much more than, because they don't necessarily have communities,
And
right?
stock prices
whereas
don't move like partially
Yeah.
funded liquidity pools of crypto.
Yeah, it's you have to be liquid, right? You have to be. So let's check out FGen. Boom. Fibrogen, it looks like. Okay. All right, this is looking decent. I mean, it's a big drop.
You pig! That looks like a rug pull to me.
Yeah, it does. I can't believe these are actual stocks. This is kind of funny. But this is 67, which is the peak. But the fact is that it looks like there is some buyers step in, and you can see here, I consolidated for a while, and you can see right here, this person here is continually buying this. So I don't know what's going on. There must be something fundamental here. Your biggest concern is going to be this gap here. So, and then that 200 period moving average, and then you're going to need to look at the weekly. So let me put this in here real quick. All right, we're going to put this in here as a gap. And we'll go right here. Come on. Here we are. Where are my defaults? Boom. All right, let's try this. Oh, that's why. That makes sense. I was like, why don't I have all my stuff? All right, gap. We have this right here. So this right here is going to be, it's going to kind of be hard to get through this. It's called a gap. This gap typically means that there was some major fundamental changes in the stock. So it sold off. But it looks like something did, maybe they rectified the situation, and now it's starting to push up. The thing that concerns me is that this past week, even though we had these big pushes, we didn't have any defense against the push. So it could just simply somebody trying to, like
Right.
a small
There's
firm.
probably not any sellers in there, so it's very,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Because
And so
if there were, they would have taken that liquidity and just drained it.
yeah.
Like on
So-
that last one, IBNS or whatever it was, INBS.
So at these levels, I look at it and I go, well, there is somebody there, but you'd want to see a sell-off, maybe come back down and tap that 8 period is what you want to see. And so you're talking, you want to wait until it comes back and tap this. And since these are stocks, that's actually much more likely to do it. So catch it between that $1.15 to $1. You want to see the next day come back down and literally see a red candle and then see that red candle get bought back up. That's going to be your indication saying that there are real interest parties here that are actually going through. Your next resistance level is going to be $6 mark. And then in addition to that, on the daily, you have that 200-day period moving average, which is going to be the 462 area that I look at that. And I would sit there and say there's going to definitely be resistance there as we come and tap that 200 period moving average. So that's it in a nutshell. Is there anything else anybody else have for us?
I don't see anything right now, and we've been on the air 2 hours now.
Alrighty.
That's good.
Thank you. Yeah, but I think by about 1:30, my brain starts to go, all right, dude.
I know. We switched from doing 1 hour shows to 2 hour shows, just kind of automatically. Like it just because we had so much to talk about and stuff. And
Yeah.
When I get done with a 2 hour show, because I have you're getting your charts in order and all that, and I got all this tech stuff to get done. But after a 2 hour show, I need a nap. Like, I don't get to take one, but I need one.
Dude, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries,
Yep.
and blackberries, man. It is amazing. I throw some honey with a bunch of cinnamon, nutmeg, clove. What else do I do it with it? Mace. Mace.
Mace?
Yeah, it's mace seasoning. taste. Yeah, it wakes you up real quick. Bro, you're all yes. I also do cardamom. I throw some cardamom up in that mix, man, with a little bit of ginger. We're talking. It is a pepper stepper upper. Like you're like, let's go. You know. Anyways, that's my little spiel for health. All right, man. I think we had a good show. Like
we did. We had another good show. We had a great week here. We're gonna be dark tomorrow. I've got some personal things to take care of. I got to set aside a Friday to do Full Rant Friday, but this Friday will be off, and next Friday my kids are going to be in town, so I have to finalize their travel plans. So I may or may not have time for Full Rant Friday. I'm not sure, but I also know next Thursday I will be the Mrs. Striking and I have a real world event. Again, so it will not be on the air next Thursday. So hopefully next week will for sure be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I know Mrs. Striking's going to be around all weekend, so there won't be any Saturday or Sunday shows here. It was a great week. We had a record show with Operation Phoenix yesterday, and today a great showing with DYOR Dex, and I'm looking forward to that. That sounds really interesting, and kind of reminds me of what a former DYOR project set out to do a long time ago, but never had the money to do it. Hopefully that'll turn into something good. And I registered and got my free 10 DYOR tokens. 10. You get free 10 for. Yeah, it depends. What the price comes out at $100 a token. Like 10, woo, it's good. But if it was at 18 zeros in one.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah. Well, if it goes there, but you see it explode to $2, dude, you just made $20.
That's true. Space Cat, I didn't get to run your thing. I did run it earlier. Final Frontier. Thanks for watching and tuning in for so long. Definitely. Appreciate it so much. Anton, I know you're on a train and not listening, but thanks for checking in. I really appreciate it. Anton's really blowing. He's got his own podcast now on LinkedIn, and I'm giving him some hints on how to make it that much better from the tech side of it. And he's getting millions of impressions. So we're gonna have Anton back on the show again soon here too.
Million. He's getting millions.
Impressions. LinkedIn. Those add up. People share your stuff pretty fast. Doesn't mean views. Views is different than impressions.
But
like we've had a million impressions for this show, Pedro.
Oh really?
Yeah, but that doesn't translate. The rate is like 1,000 or 1/10,000th or something. Whatever it is, if you get a million impressions, you get like 1,000 views or something like that.
Oh wow, that's cool. Well, dude, I'm starting to yawn it up over here. So
yep, it's time to go, ladies and gentlemen. Time to go and get some stuff done with the day, as always.
Definitely. All right, guys. Well, you be safe out there in this crypto jungle. It's nuts out there.
It's nuts out there, everyone. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, on behalf of Pedro, the crypto chart analyst, and myself. Thanks for joining in this week. We really appreciate it. Have a great day, and see you again soon. So be there.